All right, guys, this is going to be a very quick run through, a very high level overview of basically what my sales framework looks like. And I guess why it's different than how you sell normally in corporate and in B2B. And I wanted to give you this, a breakdown. This might be a really good starting point from you. There's obviously a lot of details that I've missed out here because there's only so much I can fill in such a short video. But I wanted to give you a really high level overview. So this is what my anti-sales method essentially looks like. When it comes down to opening a call, the first thing you want to do is be as far away from a salesperson as humanly possible. When you're selling high ticket, the last thing people need or want is a salesperson. So if you're doing something like framing a call where you're like, okay, this is what we're going to do today. I'm going to find a bit about you, then I'll tell you what we do, and if you want to go ahead, then blah, blah, blah. If you're also asking them, how are you doing? How's your day doing? Yeah, how's the football? How's the weather? If you're doing any of that stuff, please stop doing it right away. We want to be the trusted advisor here. We want to appear like a doctor or a lawyer, someone who is focused on getting this person the result that they're looking for through a diagnosis and then in the end offering a solution. But we also want to give it a human element and make it feel like it's just two humans talking. It's not scripted. You're not following a script. So a lot of this as well comes down to your presentation. What do you look like? Have you got all your clothes behind you in the background, or have you got a really clear, crisp camera, clear microphone? Are you presenting yourself well? Do you look like a calm, confident, collected individual? That's how you should be opening your call. I've included there like an example question. We might say, so I believe we sent over some materials before the call. Did you get a chance to look through them? Were they helpful? Why? We might have something like this because we're going to gain intent straight away. So if they say, yeah, it was really helpful, it helped me with X, Y, Z. Well, if it helped them with something, maybe that's why they're on the call. So we're already getting the prospect into results-based thinking, and the fact that we've already helped them with something already gives us a bit more information. And we're showing that we're here to talk about them, not just to push a product. Your tonality here needs to be very curious. People love it when you're curious. So if you've got a curious tonality, people are going to find that really inviting and want to open up. Again, this is a very high-level, brief overview. I'm going to try and do it in the next 10 minutes. Second thing is find the gap. I know the gap thing, the word is overused, but how we do it is very different. So we're not just going to look at what the current problem is, quite simply. We're going to begin with, look at what the current situation is. Now, a situation and a problem are two very different things, which I won't go into, but we don't just want the situation. We want the actual problem. And ultimately, we need to be contrasting that towards their outcome. We need a very clear outcome here. So we need to know not just what does this problem fix. We need to know when this problem is fixed, what does that allow you to do? How does that change things for you? What kind of person does that make you become, essentially? Lean into identity. So we need to be contrasting, essentially, the current situation, but also the pains of the current situation with their perfect desired outcome. The desired outcome is not just us fixing their problem, it's what that enables them to do. Okay, so that's find the gap. So really important here, we need to be digging into these pain points until it hurts. Most people in traditional sales just basically sit at the surface level and never go below it. So they find out basically what the key problem is and they think they've got it and they think they've created impact. You're not going to get impact until you dig. Within my sales training, I teach a few different things. I teach the pain iceberg and the staircase framework. The pain iceberg is how to get to the layers beneath someone's consciousness that actually makes that emotional shift. And the staircase framework are the questions that we use to get us there. Okay, point 4, we want to be showing the consequences of inaction. We need to make them feel the cost of staying the same. Ultimately, this lands flat and it's awkward and weird if point 2 and 3 are weak. Fifth thing we want to be doing is creating an identity shift. Ultimately, we all have a person that we are right now, but also the person we want to become. And people will move mountains to become that person. Selling with identity is the most powerful thing you can ever learn. So by contrasting these two identities, the person that they are right now that's in this pain, that isn't in the situation where they want to be, versus their desired identity, allowing them to step into that through your questioning is one of the most powerful shifts that top closers use. Point 6 is creating ownership and urgency. When I say urgency, believe me, I'm not talking about saying there's only 5 spaces remaining or we only take 1 sales call. If you hang up today, you've not got the sale. None of that bullshit. I'm talking about real emotional urgency where the prospect feels like, I need to act right now. And when it comes down to ownership, we need them to own their problem. Ultimately, we don't want them sat there thinking, well, I can maybe do this myself. We want them to take responsibility for fixing it and also create that emotional urgency. Once we've done all that successfully, we want to bridge to pitch. Ultimately, we're not going to be pitching hard here. We just want to bridge with confidence and ultimately get the prospect to be dying to tell us what the solution is and how we can help them. And point 8 is what I call the weave. When it comes to a pitch, the last thing you want to be doing is have some memorized garbage that you're going to read out as a script, or you think you remember everything about your product, so it's just this big jumbled mess. Ultimately, we're going to be keeping it short, we're going to be mirroring the language, we're going to be weaving in stories, but most importantly, we're taking everything that we've got from points 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and weaving that into our solution. So for the prospect, they're like, holy shit, this is tailor-made for me. Then we get to the price and the decision. Ultimately, I'll teach you how to get them to make a decision without the price. That's the most important thing. We want them to be tied down into the decision before we even offer the price. And ultimately, you need to be detached from the close completely. If prospects can smell that commission breath on you, you've already lost the sale. You need to be detached completely. And finally, you've got what I call the objection chain, but ultimately it's objection handling. I have a very specific framework that I've developed over the past 10 years. I spent over 50,000 in mentoring, and this is the framework that I've come up with, which works amazingly, which I call the C.A.R.E framework, which stands for clarify for the C. The A stands for ask and isolate. The R stands for reframe. I'll show you how to reframe people's decision-making process and everything. And then E is empower with action. Now, if you want my help and mentorship, so you can actually learn this sales method plus all the other methods that I've developed, and you can actually download them into your own brain, where every single sales call you're on, you're performing, you're a top performer, plus getting help landing positions where I actually bring sales positions to you and being part of our community, getting loads of practice, direct mentorship, then there should be a link below this video for you to book a call to apply, or you can drop me a DM on Instagram if you have any questions.